Today is Rosh Hashana Eve, and I just have a few things that I need to get done. I need to finish off the kare kare. Oh my gosh. I checked up on the meat, which is in the crock pot. It's been in there for like 10 hours. It is so moist and tender, and I'm so excited to put that inside the kare kare. Traditionally, you would have oxtail in kare kare, but I just didn't plan ahead very well. We were left with cholet meat. The kare kare is not the main dish, so even if there wasn't enough meat in the kare kare, it's fine. Okay, so anyway, today, finishing off the kare kare, making 2 round chalot because I already have another 2 that I actually had made on Shabbos and we didn't go through. And then I put it in the freezer, so I actually have 2 already. We need 4 in total. 2 for the first night, 2 for the first day. I actually have to figure out the simanim and, you know, what I'm gonna do with the leeks and what I'm gonna do with the beets and the white beans and the squash. I think we'll just pick out of the kare kare because it is in there. So instead of making a whole new separate dish of squash, I'll just do that. I'll figure out how to like plate everything on a nice like simanim platter, you know, we'll try to figure that out as well. First things first is always my morning cup of coffee. I like this brand, Elite Coffee. It's the Israeli coffee from Fortino's, and I normally just have it with some brown sugar and milk. But check this out. This is a mug that actually my good friend had made. Her name is Ellie Wolf, and she is very talented when it comes to ceramics. So yeah, I've been using this mug like every single day. It's just what I gravitate towards. Ooh. I should probably go to Fortino's again today to grab more coffee. I also have to still go to the grocery store because I need to grab fish head. I'm hoping Nations might have fish head. If not, then I'll probably draw a fish head on a piece of paper. And then we could imagine. I didn't, like I said, like I'm still getting used to, you know, doing hagim and stuff like that. Even though we have been celebrating since 2018, it's still an adjustment, and every single year I feel like I'm still learning something new, you know? I'm actually gonna be starting, it's 9:15. Let's see how far my day goes with regards to preparing stuff. I'm warming up my wok right now. I am going to take these vegetables in here that I already have prepped beforehand. I washed the bok choy the way that we are supposed to wash it, you know, with soapy water and all. I have my French beans, my eggplant from my backyard actually, and squash. And I'm just gonna go right ahead and put the squash first so that that actually cooks thoroughly. And just keep that covered. So I have to make sure that the squash is thoroughly cooked before I put in the other vegetables, just so that we don't have rock hard squash and then all the other vegetables are fully cooked. While my squash is cooking, I figured I should probably figure out what I'm going to do with the leeks. I've made this dish in the past where I put leeks in an aluminum pan with tomatoes and I drizzle everything with balsamic vinegar, olive oil, and a little bit of honey, salt, pepper. It turns out so delicious, so I think I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll take my leeks out of the bin now, and I have about that much. It's quite a bit, you know. I will probably leave them the length that they are. as opposed to, no, you know what? Scratch that. I'm gonna cut them in half right this second now. And this is going to be the first dish that I'm actually putting into the oven, because everything I've cooked on the stovetop up until this point, everything is fitting very nicely inside this pan. And you know, as it cooks, it's actually gonna shrivel down and be a lot smaller than what it looks like right now. I just wanna include a little bit of tomato for the juices, really. So I have here my balsamic vinegar, my olive oil. I will preheat my oven first of all. We'll do 400, it doesn't really matter. Like, put lots of olive oil, lots of balsamic vinegar, drizzle it all over. And my whole family actually really loves this dish. I've made it in the past, like I said. I think I'll also put oregano. I've made it in the past and it's so, like, it's a huge hit. They actually devour it. There's just something about balsamic vinegar on like leafy vegetables, like leeks or like cabbage. We really, really like it. We really enjoy it. And I'll just sprinkle the tomatoes on top haphazardly, doesn't matter. And I am going to drizzle a little bit of honey over top of everything. This is what it looks like right now. As you can see, everything is just sprinkled on really quickly. It's such an easy dish to make. I will cover this with aluminum foil so that everything gets nice and soft. And yeah, once my oven is preheated, I'll put it in the oven for about like 30 minutes or so, and that'll be done. So taking a look at the squash, everything is nice and cooked now. So what I plan on doing is just mixing everything into this crock pot. I'll just leave the crock pot off to the side there, and what I'll do now is I will fry up the eggplant. Not really fry, you know, saute. What I'm going to do is actually mix the green beans in with the eggplant, because the green beans are also hard and might take a little bit of time to cook as well. So, okay, so the eggplant and the green beans are cooking together now, and I will show you what it looks like. It's very simple. There it is. Once this softens, I'm going to add the bok choy directly into this wok, and then I'll grab that stuff in there and then probably add it into this wok as well. I'm just gonna add a little bit more water. Not too much. So kare kare is known for its peanut sauce, its peanut base. Traditionally, you would typically see people using also like a shrimp paste to go inside the dish and also eat on the side. Yeah, we don't do that over here. We don't eat shellfish, so that means shrimp, lobster, crab, anything like that. So I don't have shrimp paste, but what I do have is soy sauce. I have chicken bouillon, and I have, well, obviously salt and pepper I could use. Alrighty, so now I'm going to add in the bok choy, starting with the stems, and then just topping it off with the leaves. I won't mix it right now because I want everything on the bottom to sort of cook all the way through still. This is what everything is looking like right now. I'm gonna give this a quick little stir. Turn off the heat, take it off of the heat, and just mix everything up in there. What I'll do now is actually make the peanut sauce. So in order to make the peanut sauce, I need that liquid from the crock pot. So what I'm doing now is I'm just taking all of the meat and putting it into the wok with the vegetables. In order for me to make the sauce, I need all of this liquid in here so that everything is nice and smooth. If you don't like peanut butter, this is not the dish for you. Just gonna cover this up again. And now I'm gonna grab my peanut butter. So I have my crunchy peanut butter here. Probably about a quarter left of the jar. And I will grab my soy sauce. Using the meat juices, I'm going to now create my peanut sauce. Just gonna grab the biggest spoon that I have, really. I'm going to grab that much of peanut butter and plop that in. And then just another bit like that. I know it's really funny, these measurements are not that accurate, but I think, like, as long as I show the camera, you guys can kind of tell how big it is, you know. Just making sure that everything is well incorporated into the meat liquid. It is going to be a little bit of a runnier sauce because I am not putting like crazy amounts of peanut butter in this. What I could also do to make it a little thicker is put some cornstarch in it, which I actually did with the pancit. I'll put some soy sauce. Again, I just sort of eyeball it. Oh my gosh. That's delicious. It does need a little bit more salt. Just a little bit. It's quite, like, as you can see in here, it's quite runny. I think I will, I think I'll put a little bit of cornstarch. I'm not going to be overly concerned about warming it up and making sure everything is fully dissolved. I'm just going to assume that it's going to thicken up when it goes into the hot vegetables. So here we go. Typically, we like to have crushed peanuts on the side anyways, to sort of top it. So I figured it's gonna be fine for me to just use crunchy peanut butter because I also don't have any extra peanuts on hand to put on top. So here is the finished kare kare. As you can see, everything is well incorporated. All the meat juices from the night before, the crock pot cooking that meat and making it nice and tender, everything is well incorporated and it is so flavorful. There really is no need for shrimp paste. It's like an unnecessary ingredient, I find. Like I said, we don't eat shrimp. We wouldn't buy shrimp paste, so this is a completely kosher kare kare. But now I'm just gonna put everything into this aluminum tray. That way, when it comes down to warming it up on Rosh Hashana, all I'll have to do is put it into the oven because the oven will be on already. Oh my gosh, if you guys can only smell this right now, divine. I am going to cover it up and just have it cooling down off to the side, I think. Okay, what I like to do is I write down on top of the aluminum foil what it is. So I'll just write down kare. I feel so good about this. I told myself, I have a goal. I'm ambitious. I want to make Filipino food for Rosh Hashana. And I just feel so proud of myself that I was able to accomplish that. Baruch Hashem, we are in this position where we were able to buy all that meat, all those vegetables. I'm just so thankful. And we have great meals for Rosh Hashana. Baruch Hashem. So I have just left both of those dishes down there on my hot plate, which is not turned on, to cool down. Right now, I have quite a bit of mess in the kitchen, so I plan on just washing a few meat dishes, the crock pot, some utensils, things like that, so that I get a hold of my kitchen again. Because as I was making the kare kare, I kind of just like put everything off to the side and I just said, okay, I'm just gonna deal with you later. So yeah, now is later. Once I finish doing that, I'm going to whip out the KitchenAid and then make some challah. So now I am just making my challah. I need to make sure that this is ready before, I want to make sure that this is done before mid-afternoon. We are going to an orthodontist appointment because Izzy does have an extra tooth in her gums, which is actually preventing one of her adult teeth from coming out. So she has to get like a CT scan for that. Unfortunately, it's going to cost us quite a bit of money to get the CT scan, but it's just for her benefit and for the good of her mental health. I don't want her to feel, you know, any certain way when she grows older. I'd like her to just be happy about her teeth, so we are taking, we've saved up enough money so that we can have this appointment and this scan done. Pressing it in, making sure that it is exactly a cup. And finally, number 8. I won't be putting any rosemary inside the dough this time. Although my husband really, really likes it. We do have other challah inside the freezer, and also right over here I have 2 of these, which does have rosemary inside the dough. So I kind of just want to do like a simpler challah this time. Okay. So now I'm just going to put this into the oven to proof, to rise. Came back from the fish market, so I'm going to boil down this salmon head now inside this pot of water here, and that way we could present it part of the simanim. So I just came back from Izzy's appointment. It was a very fast CT scan. It literally took a minute. The most time spent was actually just driving to the appointment. I got back home. Shabam! Oh my gosh. I left my challah like rising in the warm oven the whole time I was gone. We're gonna have really big challah. And then I have these small buns to go with them. It's such a contrast, like this versus that. It's just so funny. So now I'm gonna do my simanim plate. I have this cute little apple platter. I got this from Dollarama probably like last 6 months ago. I can't remember. But I was thinking about Rosh Hashana when I bought it, right? Anyway, I don't think I'll put the fish head on this with the dates, with the pomegranate and stuff like that, because the flavors, you know, it's just not going to mix well. So what I'll probably do is just put like the sweet stuff here, the apples, the honey, the dates, the pomegranate, and then I'll have like a separate tray. This one. And it's funny because this one was actually from the sushi counter over at Fortino's when I ordered like the party tray. This is the tray that it came on. And I just kept them because I thought like these are perfectly good trays. I would hate to like just recycle them. I would like to reuse them and repurpose them. So I think between these two will be good. Okay, so I totally forgot that I still need to fry up the beef short rib and the chicken cutlets. So we're not quite there yet. And I'm very hungry. I didn't eat breakfast this morning besides a coffee. And I had like one Mike and Ike candy. Sometimes I just don't get hungry in the morning, and then I end up like not feeding myself for a long period of the day. But when I make the chicken cutlets, I think I'm just gonna have that with a little bit of rice, because I'm gonna be making rice now too. And most likely when the kids get home from school in about 20 minutes, they're going to want some rice and chicken as well. So there is the challah. These are humongous. Look at my hand. My hand is also small, but still, these are huge. You could just imagine. Yeah, so I actually finished frying up the short ribs. They're in here. We ended up just going through the chicken cutlets with rice because everybody is just so hungry after school. And just wanted to show you really quickly, over here is the fish head. Doesn't look that appetizing, but I won't be leaving it in the water. I'll be putting it out on like a plate so that we can all see every bit of it. And yeah, this is it. For the most part, I'm finished with my Rosh Hashana prep. I just have to open the can of beans, cut the beets, and cut the pomegranate. So yeah, that's not that big of a deal. I could do that like right before the Hag starts to keep things fresh, you know. Okay, we are just right down to the wire. Here is our simanim plate with the apples and the honey. We have the fish head over there with the leeks, some fish, and we have our squash, our white beans, dates, pomegranates, beets, and carrots.